We have just finished making a bicycle that we can control and make it run into the side of the stage. Next thing we're going to do is use the MovieClipness of this in order to make a bicycle run in a hamster wheel. So for that we need a new movie. ActionScript 3.0, yes, that's good. Our new movie, we're going to go ahead and make the stage that brown color. Again, are we going to reinvent the wheel? No. Are we going to reinvent the bicycle? No. We're going to go over to Bike FLA, and we're going to find that symbol, bike with spin wheels, and simply drag that. We can drag it from the icon here or from the preview window right into here. We are going to remember to take our thing back to Untitled 3, just so our library is displaying our current movie. Let's go ahead and save this. We're going to call it Bike Hamster Wheel. Okay. So here's our bike hamster wheel. In this case, what we want to do is actually create this bicycle so it looks like it's riding inside of a wheel and turning that wheel. Let's go ahead and scale this down a bit just because it's a little too big. So I'm going to take it down 75% to 75%. Oh, is that still too big? Yeah, it's still too big. Let's take it down to 60. Next thing we're going to do is make our wheel. Okay, so I can delete this from the stage. And to make our wheel, we can do it a couple of different ways. I want to go ahead and show you the other way. I want to make symbols both ways so you can get used to that. Instead of saying insert new symbol and doing it right there in the symbol editor, which would put us into a kind of clean blank environment, instead what we will do is create an oval. I'm going to make this no fill, and let's make it a lighter color. Let's make it this light green color. Hold down Shift so I get a circle. Let go. Let's check our properties here. Select. Now this is 288 by 288. I didn't do such a good job of it that time. Is 10 good for the stroke? Let's make it 15. And let's go ahead and make this 300 by 300 just because I like even numbers. Not even numbers, but not round numbers. I like numbers that end on 10s or 5s. I'm also going to center this in the frame for now. I don't need to, but just for now, we will. So, we're going to make this into a symbol. I'm going to call this circle. 300, circle stroke. Why don't I call it stroke circle? Well, because I'm most likely going to want to find my circles rather than my strokes. Circle stroke, 300, and I have forgotten 15. Okay, so we just took something on stage, converted it to a symbol. Now, remember, I'm still in the main timeline. I'm going to bring out my bike symbol. Put it on the stage. Too big. So we're going to start scaling this. And in this case, this is a time when it's kind of good that I can use the free transform tool, because I can do this in context. And we were talking about how editing in context is kind of nice. We're not inside of a symbol. Right now, what we have on stage on the main timeline is an instance of circle stroke 300 and bike with spin wheels. Okay, so I'm just showing you this is a different way of making symbols. We're going to bring this down. I'm going to hold Shift down till I've got it at just about the right size, and that seems good for me. Nudge it down using the arrows like so, and so now I have two instances of this symbol, or I'm sorry, an instance of two symbols. on stage. And I'm going to make a composite symbol out of these. If I were to play this right now, it would play just fine. We can't tell that the wheel is running, though. Shall we do that first? Let's fix that first, before we make our composite symbol. Circle stroke 300. What we're going to do here is make this a half and half circle. We're going to make it so it's half one color and half the other. We're going to do this because I just wanted to show you something. No other reason. I want to change this color because I foolishly chose the color I wanted, not the color that would display what we're doing well. Okay, so if you look at this, remember what this is. This is a circle. It's a stroke, it's a line with stroke information on it. It's not a shape that encloses color with a fill. If we tried to select this with our selection tool, like we can do a box, it's going to do this, but if we then choose a different stroke color, oh, they've changed that. Okay, never mind. Well, that's nice. We can do that. Sorry. I could have sworn that didn't work when I was testing this for the movie. So, what we can do with this stroke, it's a stroke circle. We can come down here and select it with a selection tool. You see this is selected part. Now, this is maybe not half. If I wanted to do it perfectly, I would bring down a guide or something like that. I'm just going to do part of it and just change its color kind of to something that will be bright. Now notice I do have those end caps, which maybe don't look so good. What I can do is come into my fill and stroke and change it to none, and then you've got square, which I like better for this purpose. And do it at the top too. I'm going to give it a different color up here as well. Yellow, golden, and again, no end cap. This name isn't exactly perfect anymore, but it's okay. It's good enough. So now if we test our movie, we can see we've got this sitting still. So what we're going to do is insert a new symbol, and this is going to be circle stroke 300 spin. Making a movie clip. We're going to bring in this instance of circle stroke 300 art. I'm sorry if this seems redundant, but I've found in the past that it really, really helps you to see this happen a few different times in a few slightly different ways. So especially if you're watching the recording, don't stop watching now. Don't skip ahead. Just bear with me on this. Okay, so we want this to spin, I don't know. Let's just give it 50. So we're going to hit F6 here to make a keyframe. We will create our classic tween. Okay. We will set it to rotate one time clockwise. We do want to get rid of that doubling effect here so that frame is not the same as that frame. So we're going to come in here, insert a new keyframe. Okay. Remove the tween from our new keyframe because that would be starting a new tween. Move it over one. I'll expect you to stop and start the recording a couple of times till you figure this one out. Move it over one, and then remember we had that problem when it was still set to rotating clockwise one time. We actually need to rotate 0 times because we are not making a complete rotation. We're only rotating from that state to this state, which is almost all the way around, but not quite. It's almost 1, but still 0 rotations. Alrighty. Circle stroke 300 spin. We come back here, and we are still working on our main timeline. We're going to swap the symbol and swap it for our spin symbol, like so. Now we have this going on. Okay, but we're not done yet. Because what we want to do is we want to place this in a symbol so that we can then do things with it. Okay. So, 2 symbol instances on the main stage. Circle stroke and bike. Select these both. Choose modify, convert to symbol. There it is. F8 is your shortcut for that. We're going to call this bike logo. Bike hamster logo. We're going to make this a movie clip because this is going to sit in our interesting bicycle shop website and always be sitting somewhere. Now the nice thing about this is once we've done this, we can come in here with our free transform tool. We'll just make this smaller for now. I'm actually going to make another one of these. We'll select it. Option drag it, which is going to make a copy. How about this? This one we're going to try this modify, transform, flip horizontal. Bike is going the other way. And you know what? The animation is going the other way too. Which is kind of cool. How about this? We could actually make these so they are touching each other. Like so. And then, okay, we've got these 2 composite symbol instances. Can we make these into a symbol? Yes, we can. A couple of ways to do it. I did it before with modify convert to symbol. Here I'm just doing it with a right click. Bike logo 2. Okay. And now maybe this is our logo and we're starting off like a web page or something like that. Perhaps we might want to start off with it looking like this. We're on the main timeline now. Hit F6 to make a new keyframe. Hit F6 down here to make another new keyframe. We will move it up to the top. Transform, free transform tool, Q tool. Scale it down. I'm holding shift. Go back to our selection tool to move it. Remember, don't move things with your free transform tool or you mess them up really easy. Put our tween on here. Classic tween. We're going to ease in. And then put some frames at the end so it can just sit around and spin. Okay, beginning. Shoop up to the corner, and then it sits there annoying your user and distracting their attention so they don't read your actual content. Just like those ads that they used to put on web pages, like people dancing on rooftops about their mortgage. Something like that. Okay, now this could easily be created into a web page. We'll get into that later, but this could be made into a little web graphic that would be done totally with JavaScript and scalable vector graphics and stuff. Okay, this is using a movie clip to make a symbol that plays repeatedly and is really not dependent at all on what the main timeline is doing.